hating, know they sick, acting like they know me, cause I'm
time to bring the bass bird.
We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. Obviously, they do everything big here in Dallas, and the introduction to the Cowboys, no exception. They're set for football and Big D, as their guys will do battle with the New York Giants. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Ready. Set, watch out. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Watch the screen. Pass. Let's go.
Running it with the NFL's Offensive Rookie of the Year a season ago, Saquon Barkley. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
Now the second down throw on target. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
Check. Watch let's go.
A first down carry for Barkley. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. Well, we see so many good battles in the NFC East, and Cowboys and Giants, they rarely disappoint. They didn't disappoint last year. Cowboys got the better of the Giants both times. Week 2, 20-13, and then in Week 17, a thriller, 36-35. That was a game where Dak Prescott threw 4 touchdown passes. 12 yards there and a first down.
Well, he's looking sharp right from the get-go here. Tough division. They needed this kind of a start. But I think this is part of where scripting comes in. We always hear about the scripting of plays, how they're going to be called. Everyone dress rehearses their script, and right now they're following it to a T.
And for that opening drive, so part of the script still to come, right, partner?
Yeah, no doubt about it. We've got a ways to go with that. But you can tell that they worked on the script the entire week in practice, and it's paying off for them.
Anthony Brown there on the tackle.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
On second down, here's Barkley. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open, and when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away.
The Cowboys take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a first and 10 at the 20.
Under. Hey, kill. 47. 26.
They run with Ezekiel Elliott, last year's NFL rushing leader. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Second and 6.
They'll come up second and 6 now from the 24.
Push him back. 26.
They'll try to sweep with Elliott. 11 yards there, first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
A first down carry by Elliott. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
And they didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Antoine Bethea, the leading tackler among NFL safeties last year, and on the tackle again there. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They'll try to throw now. Prescott eluding the pressure right. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Prescott from the gun on 3rd. Completes it right side to Cooper. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this. This one, 3rd down. They gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
Too long for a field goal, too short to punt. That in-between range, and they'll go for it on 4th down. Look at this, a tight end carry. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. Touchdown, Cowboys! Dalton Schultz, 41 yards. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They were forced to punt on their initial drive of the new season. Now they're ready to go as they begin again with a 1st and 10. The throw on the quick slant going to be complete. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out by a few inches. That'll be a first down. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now Saquon Barkley. He gets away from one. Byron Jones in there to make the tackle.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. He was looking for Evan Ingram, the tight end, and it's 3rd down.
Ready? 18 Gator. Watching it go. Better bring it. You better bring it.
Operating from the gun, Jones. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
And from that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. They were looking for a little spark and some breathing room. They got it right there, a gain of 14 and a 1st down. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Here we go, 46. Hey, watch it. Here we go, going to 54. Hey.
Here's Prescott. And he hits Jason Witten, the tight end. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 more yards there and another 1st down. Prescott, of course, the former 4th-round pick back in 2016, started all 48 games in his first 3 years in the NFL, and now making start number 49 on 1st down. It's Elliott. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
I got you. Hatch it.
Here's Elliott. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
At the 39-yard line.
Here we go. 20. Mike's 47. Here we go, 47. Go. Get out there. 47, Mike. 47. 26. 47's the Mike.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. And the throw there going to be incomplete. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Throwing, Jones. Looking for his receiver, Sharp, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Leighton Vander Esch. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
The Cowboys take over 1st and 10. At their 41-yard line.
36. We're going to 53. 26.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. Caught left side by Cobb. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Randall Cobb, 41 yards. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a first down on a gain of 10. Couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 first downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is easy if they continue to rip off yardage like this.
A pretty good-looking run there on first down. That'll go for 9 yards, just short of the line to gain. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
At their 49-yard line.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Now it's Barkley. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That second down play nets a -4. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
Down. 10-2 stop. Protein spill. Ready?
From the gun on 3rd down. Jones. It's caught. Shepard. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. A first carry for the Clemson man, Wayne Gallman. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. Jones throwing complete here to Tate, and he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 21.
Ready, 50, plant.
First down, New York.
Come on, team. Now.
They'll run on first down. Barkley, and he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Xavier Woods, the free safety, up to make the tackle. Well, the spark that ignited the Cowboys-Giants rivalry goes back to 1960 when Dallas's first head coach and former New York Giants assistant Tom Landry brought his 0-10 rookie squad into Yankee Stadium. That game would finish a 31-31 tie, the only non-loss in the expansion Cowboys' first season. 6 decades later, still one of the most heated rivalries in the NFL. Heck, even Cowboys head coach Jason Garrett spent 3 seasons in a Giants uniform. And Dallas leads the overall series, including the last 4 meetings. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Rosa's kick is good. Remember, with Rosas, there was some speculation last year in the preseason that he might not hold on to his job with the Giants.
But he certainly answered the challenge, didn't he? 32 of 33 during the regular season, 97% that is, and was named to the NFC Pro Bowl team. And by the way, at 6'3", 234, he can bench press your kicker.
Accelerating, and off he goes. Touchdown, Cowboys. He goes 102 yards from one end zone to the other. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times where they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules. And if you do, you're taking on some responsibility. But he was happy to do so there.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something.
And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. 20, 10, and he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley, as the first half is winding down. And the Giants strike quickly here for 6 points. Aldrich Rosas on for the extra point. It's up and good, and the lead is down now at 11. It's 21-10. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. It'll be spotted on the right hash. A 52-yard attempt. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. So we are at halftime here in the opener of the 2019 regular season. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. And we'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This is fielded a couple yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Hey, kill. Switch, hey. Kill, turn up.
Again, it's Elliott. Touchdown, Cowboys! Ezekiel Elliott, 70 yards. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
At their own 25-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And their halftime hold now even deeper. They need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Watch the screen! Watch the screen!
Now Jones. From the gun, he'll throw. Over the middle, complete to Tate. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Jones operating from the gun. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. DeMarcus Lawrence with a sack. Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for New York. It's taken to the 26. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They had the double-digit lead at halftime, and they have continued to roll. They're hard to stop right now.
I think what we're seeing is an example of a team that has it figured out in this ballgame. And whatever the adjustments are the defense has made hasn't slowed them, hasn't phased them at all. They either anticipated them or they've been so far ahead that they just can't catch up.
Now it's just a search to add to the lead. They go to Elliott again. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Prescott on 3rd and 2. He's got his targets caught. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a 1st down. These Cowboys looking good here at AT&T Stadium. Of course, they were really good in this building last year, 7-1 in their 8 games played at home. The only loss was on a Monday night to Tennessee.
47's the mic, boys. 40. Check, 47. Man, I got you. Man, I got you. Check 37. Check 37. 6. Hey, kill. 47.
So that'll back him up 5. The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. After the penalty, it's Elliott. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
At the 40-yard line.
Hey, here we go. Check 47. And we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball.
On 2nd and 12, Prescott. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And this one complete to Witten over the middle. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A good-looking drive for the Cowboys so far. It's a first down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Blitz coming, and down he goes. They can't stop Bruce Irvin there as he slips in for the sack.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
On second down, it's Elliott. And room there to work it inside the 25. A pickup of 7 there, but they'll still have 12 yards to go on third down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense get a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. He can run for it, and he will. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a fourth down. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. From the left hash, this from 34. The kick by Maher is good. Of course, the door for Maher was opened after a little bit of a surprise move, the Cowboys letting go of Dan Bailey last year.
Yeah, Maher took over in the preseason. He's from Nebraska via the Canadian Football League where he kicked for 4 years. And I saw him personally make 2 game-winning field goals last season against Detroit and in Atlanta.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now Jones. Rush coming, and he's taken down. I don't care if you're taken in round 1, you're undrafted, whatever. As a rookie quarterback in this league, you're going to have games where you face adversity like this.
Lessons. All the time you're going to face these lessons. The key for this guy is, will he be able to bounce back in the next one? Because right now, this has not been his game.
Jones now on third down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. This D wanting to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2.
The Giants take at their own 35-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They'll start out on the ground, and Saquon Barkley still churning. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. That's something we saw over and over again in Barkley's rookie season. He had 91 catches last year, most ever by a rookie running back. Part of a fantastic rookie campaign that saw him go over 2,000 total yards. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
It's been a long day for you.
From the gun, Jones. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 36. They've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath. People start to press up on you. Push them deep. Find some space and open things up again. Being aggressive there, I think, will pay off for them.
Ready? 10-2 stop. Check, 54. Here we go, D. Get off the field. 5. Right there. 54. Right there. 54. Let's go.
On 2nd and 11 now. Jones. Oh, he almost had it. Already with one interception, just missing his second there. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Looking to throw. Jones. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. Facing this fourth quarter deficit, felt like they had to throw the ball, and on the other side, they were ready.
No doubt about it. They're playing situational football. They look at the clock, they know the lead that they have, and all they're doing is playing pass on every down.
Playing the pass, picking it off, and now big time in the driver's seat. On first down, Grant. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. They go back to Grant. There he goes, right side. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Corey Grant, 77 yards, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Marr now to add the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. And he takes this down deep on the Cowboys' side of the field. And he's going to get this all the way down to the Cowboys' 9.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Let's go, tackle. Hit it.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
Easy work in this
So that run gets them about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
They'll run again here with Gallman. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Giants gain a bit of respectability. Rosas good with the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
First and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. On the run, it's Barkley. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Well, the returns for the Cowboys on Leighton Vander Esch have been pretty good so far. A lot of Cowboy Nation questioned when they took him number 19 overall a season ago instead of Calvin Ridley. But Leighton Vander Esch would get 140 tackles last year, franchise rookie record for Dallas en route to a Pro Bowl appearance. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. They'll run on first down. Barkley. And he's got this down to the 35. First down, Giants on a pickup of 14. It's been an excellent day for him running the football, no doubt, as he continues to soar well past 100 yards.
Yeah, it almost feels like he can just grab his briefcase and head home after putting in a full day's work at the office, doesn't it?
Runs through the contact. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
Doesn't affect the outcome, but, hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these types of scores are ones that we don't consider big at the time. Then later on we find out maybe that was a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Or, of course, in the fantasy football world, these points mean a lot.
A lot there. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And, partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long. It's good to have football back, isn't it?
Didn't you see me in preseason? Weren't we together in preseason?
Yeah, but preseason, it's preseason. This is week 1.
Oh, you're trying to say real football.
Real football.
Not preseason football where we shake down the rosters and figure out who's going to play, and maybe the starters don't play as much. Now it's the frontline guys from the first whistle.
Yeah, I tuned you out in the preseason. And now I'm listening to you.